This website claims that it can build any website for you, even if you don't know any code. You just have to know plain English. Apparently, this is vibe coding. But let's see if this AI actually works or if it's just hype. Welcome to Hit or Scam, the podcast where I test one AI every Saturday and tell you if it's a scam or if it's actually worth it, so you don't waste your time trying new AI tools. Today we're starting off with Base 44. Let's get into it. I'm Arancha, by the way. Alright, so here is Base 44. When you get here, the first thing you'll see is a message like ChatGPT kind of, and you give it a prompt. So this is the prompt I gave it, and I asked it to build a website where the task is to summarize notes for students. So I gave it a few rules and an output format, and then it gave me a lot of stuff. However, before we get into this, to see if this is actually a good website and I get the AI tool, we're going to do 3 tests. First of all, speed, then accuracy, and then if it's actually accessible. So let's start off first with speed. So when I first gave it this prompt, it took around 5 minutes for it to create an actual website, and then I asked for a few different components. So in total, to get like an actually decent website, not this though, like this is a more improved one, but at the start it took around 5 minutes, which is amazing because if we didn't have this, people would have to know how to code, which would take so much time, and then to actually code a website, it could take months and months to build this website. However, here it just takes 5 minutes. Next, so for speed, I would actually give this a 5 out of 5. It's also really easy to publish. It doesn't take any time. You just put this, and yeah, you just have this already. So for speed, I would say it's a 5 out of 5. It's super effective. Then for accuracy, so I like that I give it a lot of rules and an output format. And as you can see, when I put after my the chemistry notes here, it should when I give it some notes, it should be able to give an output format that follows these steps. So let's just that right now. Alright, so I'm gonna paste the notes here. So I took some chemistry notes. And when I summarize the notes, the first thing that I should see is that it follows my output format, and also that it generates a quiz I asked it, and also that that has an outline view and mind map and a comparison table. Okay, so that was very fast, and I gave it all these notes, and let's see if it actually works. So we have the key concepts, the important definitions, the summary, and the exam tips. So that's checked. So that's good. At least it can follow simple rules. Now let's see it has the outline, the mind map, and the tables. Okay, so it looks like it's correct. And then for the quiz, one thing I did before I had physics notes, and when I switched to chemistry notes, the quiz didn't update, so I changed that. So one thing that you'll see is that you're going to have to troubleshoot this a lot, because it's never going to be fully correct, and you're always going to have to change it, because if it does it fast, it means the quality is not very good. So that's one flaw of it, and to add on to that flaw is you can make a lot of changes because you have to upgrade this. So if you don't have an upgrade plan, if you don't want to spend $160 a month or $80 or even $16 a month, you're probably not going to be able to troubleshoot it a lot. So it's going to be a very simple app, but if you wait, you can still make as many changes as you want. Okay, for the quiz though, what I do like is that there's open-ended questions, and then so if I just put this, it gives me explanation, and then there's also multiple choice questions. So this is amazing for reviewing before a quiz or test. And then there's also flashcards. So one thing though is that for the study guide, I didn't really ask it to give me a mind map and a table. So I mean, it's better that it did give it to me, but it didn't really follow what I said. So for accuracy, I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5. And then lastly, for accessibility, I think it's a pretty accessible app. It's really straightforward. You create an account and you get this. However, to get good quality, you do have to have an upgrade plan, and I know a lot of people are willing to pay. So I'll give it a 4. So in total, the speed is a 5 out of 5, the accuracy is a 4 out of 4, and the accessibility is a 4 out of 4. This website, in my opinion, is great for high school students, middle schoolers, and people in college who are looking to make their first ever website. I've even seen people who've actually published this and make money out of this. So it's a pretty straightforward app, and I think it's great for people who are just starting out and they want to and they don't know how to code. However, I don't know if Base44 is going to be able to create the next YouTube or the next Instagram. Why? Because normally what happens very fast, and when you don't put a lot of effort into it, if you don't put a lot of input, the output is probably not going to be as strong. However, I do think it's great to get ideas out and get at least a first prototype out, and then you can build a better website. And also for the flashcards here, we can see that it works. So generally, it works very well. And I'm gonna change something so you can see how the speed of it. So I'm gonna put personalized study experience. What's amazing here also for the accessibility, which gives it a lot of points, is that it also gives you recommendations of what to change. So if you're new in building websites, then you can easily see like what you can improve. So yeah, as you can see here, right now it's loading the website, but I just gave it like simple things and it wrote this. Okay. So now we just have to wait. And one thing that I would like, which I don't know if you can actually do, is see the code. Because I think it's also great if you could learn. Like obviously you can do a website, but also it'd be fun if you could just learn. So I'll be back when this is ready. Alright, so I've waited for around a minute, and apparently it's done. So it says that added that customizable study preference where users can set their learning experience. So if we go here, okay. Oh, so this is amazing. So basically it gave me a study preference, so anybody who tests the app can choose how to learn best. So okay. So let's try, for example, visual learner. What are you studying for? Let's put okay. No. Okay, so that's weird. It just left. Okay, let's try again. So let's put chemistry test. Again, let's put hard. Let's see. Okay, so we're gonna paste the same notes that we had before, and let's summarize them, and let's see how it goes. By the way, the expectation should be that we see some graphs or some visuals. Oh, okay, so, right, we have the same thing as always here, but it's in visual learner. Okay, so, let's see. Okay, so let's see the mind map. So I'm not really seeing anything that's different to before. Okay, so it says here there's an issue. Okay. I don't really see the difference though. There's not anything that says that's visual. So diagram. Okay, I guess there is mind maps. There was also mind maps before. Let's see if the quiz is very hard, and let's then check out the flashcards because I put them as hard. Guys, basically I paused the video, but it's taking a lot of time to create my quiz. So let's go on to the flashcards. Maybe I'll generate flashcards. Okay, so we're running into some problems here. Okay, so apparently we have some missing variable definitions in the quiz and flashcard functions. Alright, so I guess what I'm seeing here is that as I'm making this harder and more, not just a simple app, it's having more trouble with it. So, okay, it says it's fixed the error. That was actually very fast. Okay. So it's creating a quiz and creating flashcards. So I'll wait and see. what I might do is switch to easy and easy. Maybe that'll help it. But, okay, I might have to give it now for, okay, so for speed, I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5 because it's taking a lot of time. But also, it's just what I've seen, actually, for my conclusion. I think it's a 4 out of 5 for speed, accuracy, and accessibility. Because what I'm saying here is, it's good for like basic apps, but as I'm making this harder and harder, it's having more trouble, and it has to like troubleshoot, and it has these errors. However, I'm not going to take too many points away. Because it did fix it very fast, the error. But it's taking a lot of time to create a quiz and to create the flashcards. So I am a little bit worried. However, it did do it before, so it shouldn't be that bad. Alright, let's try this one last time. So we're going to put that where, okay, let's do that where balance of all of this and that, okay, let's do this. So we're going to copy paste our notes, and let's see if this goes fast. Because the other one here, it's taking a lot of time, and I don't know why. So yeah, I guess the best thing about this also is that you can easily publish it. You just click publish app, and that's it. So that's the best thing about it. Okay, so the summary is good. Yep, okay, so let's go to the quiz, and let's see if here maybe it works. I'll come back when it's ready. Okay, guys, that was really, really fast. That took like less than a second. Okay, so let's see if it works. Let's just put whatever. Okay, so yeah, so like, let's just put anything. Okay, so yeah, it works. It's actually very helpful to like practice. Okay, and then flashcards, let's generate a flashcard and let's see. I think I just messed this one up because I just changed the settings too much. Because here it's going pretty fast. Okay, yeah, so it's going fast. Alright guys, so it actually worked out pretty well. And in 10 minutes, okay, well, in 15 minutes, I got to build a note summarizer app with no code, just me typing stuff. And I got it to be able to paste my notes, or to type them, then get a summary, study guide with an outline, a mind map, and tables, and then be able to generate quizzes and flashcards, all with no code, minimal effort. So I would say that Base 44 is definitely a hit for high schoolers and people in college and people who don't know how to code to just get a website and just have their first website. However, as I said before, this is not going to be the next Instagram, in my opinion. I think it has to be a lot more complex, and it's not very accessible because you need an upgrade plan. However, it's a great start, so I would say that Base 44 is a hit, and we're starting off this podcast series very well with our first hit, Base 44. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next week, Saturday.